पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत। ओम शांति शांति शांति। वर्ष नंबर 56। दुखेषु अनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहा वीतराग भय क्रोध स्थित धीर मुनिरुच्यते। I repeat one more time. दुखेषु अनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहा वीतराग भय क्रोध स्थित धीर मुनिरुच्यते. See the translation. Sri Krishna says, O Arjun, he whose mind is not shaken by adversity, who does not hanker after pleasure, and is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady wisdom. See the one more time translation, very beautiful verse. Sri Krishna says, O Arjun, he whose mind is not shaken by adversity, who does not hanker after pleasure, and is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady wisdom. Steady wisdom is being described. If someone is self-centered, then worldly objects will not make any effects. See, what is the procedure? Dukkhesu anudvigna manaha. The common man what feels? It is a very opposite from the man of wisdom and man of the common. Dukkhesu anudvigan manaha. What we do? We wait for happiness. We have been waiting happiness since no time. We are waiting. See, your waiting says you are not happy. That is why you are wanting. I would be happy in the future. I would be happy if I get this. I would be happy if I achieve this. And simultaneously, we are waiting for unknowingly for unhappiness too. Sometimes we are knowingly, sometimes we are unknowingly, and we are waiting for happiness and for misery. And both are in the future. Our desire source, they are not present. In present, you are not happy. In present, you are not unhappy. We are waiting. We are waiting for a person. We are waiting for a condition. We are waiting for a situation. We are waiting for an object. And we think that would be cause for happiness. So we should possess them. Here, two types of people, you can describe them. We can categorize two type people. One is optimistic. Another is pessimistic. The optimistic will say, if there is happiness in life, there is happiness, they will preach you. Take a positive view of the life. Take life as a positive. They will explain you there is happiness, and in between two happiness, there is a small misery. Because misery and happiness, they come one by one. They have mutual understanding. Sometimes happiness comes, next moment misery will come. So they have mutual understanding. They come one by one, turn by turn. So optimistic people will say, there is in happiness in my life, and between two happiness, there is a small misery. But the pessimistic will say, there is everywhere unhappiness. Sarvam dukkham, everywhere is unhappiness, misery, and between two miseries, there is small happiness. This is the point, this is the view of the life. You can categorize in two ways, positive and negative. But this person, Sthita Pragya, is beyond of them. This Sthita Pragya, which is being described by the Krishna, is not a pessimistic, not optimistic. It is a beyond. Because both were waiting for happiness or misery. Sri Krishna says, Dukkhesu anudvigan manaha. Such people does not wait for anything. He is not waiting for happiness. He is not waiting for the misery. If you wait for happiness, automatically you would wait for misery too. They are not different. They are very deeply connected. They are not different. So you cannot take one. But what happens in my life? What happens in our life when dukkhes anadvigan manaha? Misery comes. And we become so restless. The conditions for miserable, the conditions come for misery, and we become miserable. Conditions are outside. Miseries are inside. We create the miseries. When unhappiness comes, miseries comes, our mind becomes udvigna manaha, restless, unhappy, We don't want that. And Sukhesu Vigataspriya, and we always want happiness. Happiness should be in my life. And this happiness which will come in your life is not stable. It is not your nature. It is not your essential nature. It is produced by objects. So objective happiness, objective misery will not remain same always. And psychologically, when happiness comes, we want this happiness should be more and more and more and more. This way, the happiness we make miserable. Dukkhesu anudvigna manaha, sukhesu vigataspriya. Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, just opposite the view of the common man. Sthita Prajna has its own view, own living style. Misery comes, yes, no problem. Happiness comes, he is quiet. In happiness, he is happy. In misery, also he is happy. In both conditions, in both states, any state cannot make any difference in that person. Vitarag bhaya krodha. Then what happens? He becomes free from the attachment. That person becomes free from the attachment. First thing is attachment. Any object is not matter. Any person is not problem. Any condition is not misery or happiness. We make any condition, any object, any person miserable because my point is there. Sri Krishna says, Vitaraga, that person is free from the attachment. No attachment. And without attachment, when you enter in the world will be very different. You enter in the world with attachment, the world is different. And without attachment, when you enter in the world is very, very different. There is no world, there is just consciousness. Vitaraga and bhaya. Bhaya means fear. If you don't have any attachment, then there is no reason of any fear. Fear is the consequences of the attachment. Fear is also in the future. In the past. Fear is not in the present. Fear is in the future. It may happen. It would happen. Because I don't want to leave anything. And condition can take away from us. Time can take away from us. And we don't want to leave. We don't want to get up. We don't want to give up anything. We want possession. We want possession. And every time we are fearful, any time, the time can take away from us. And think, if there is death, any possession has no meaning. If death is there, how can we possess? Even we cannot possess my body also, our body also. How can I possess my house? How can I possess my bank balance? How can I possess my building, my chair, my furniture? I'm not able to possess even my body. If death is there, all possessions are just imagination. There is no any reality. If you understand that, then all fears will be disappeared. See, the psychology of Krishna, so deep thinking, so deep psychological facts in Gita are being given. Vitarag, if there is no attachment, then there is no fear. If there is no fear, then there is no anger. Anger is because of the fear. Every angry man is fearful inside. Every angry man, it shows he is fearful. Your fear will make you angry. Vitarag bhaya krodha, Sri Krishna says, Sthita dhira munuruchyate, such person is Muni. Muni, the controller of the mind, the controller of sense organs. And now you can say that Sthita pragya. Now next one. Ya sarvatra navisneha tattat prapti shubha shubham na vinandati na drishti tas pragya pratisthita. I repeat again. Ya sarvatra navisneha tattat prapya shubha shubham na vinandati na drishti tas pragya pratisthita. See the translation. The wisdom of that man remains established who has not attachment for anything anywhere, who neither welcomes nor rejects anything, whatever good or bad, when he comes across it. I say again the translation. These words are, these slokas, verses are very, very beautiful. The wisdom of that person remains established who has not attachment for anything anywhere, who neither welcomes nor rejects anything, whatever good or bad, when he comes across it. When Arjun asked to the Krishna, what the definition of a realized person? The word is different, sthita pragya, but the meaning is same. Realized person. What the definition? And Krishna explaining it, he says, having known the Brahman, having known the Atman, having known the self. It does not mean the world will change. If someone becomes realized, it does not mean for that the world will change. The condition will change. Sri Krishna says, no. The person will transform. After realization, world will remain same. The person who is realized, that person will transform. Real intellect will transform. Condition will be remain same. As they are supposed to come. Ramakrishna Paramhans had cancer. He was realized. Then we can think, if he was realized, He should not have disease. But cancer is there. Pain is there. Ram Tirth Paramans, Ram Tirth, the great saint, a realized person, he also had cancer. He had so much pain. So, pain is different thing. Krishna says, Tattat Prapi Subha Subham. After realization, the world will not change. Your destiny will not change. Destiny will come. Destiny will give its fruit. If there is a good conditions, the realized person also get the good conditions. If destiny has something bad conditions, and destiny will give bad conditions. This is job of the destiny. So Sri Krishna says, yeah, whoever, Arjun, you find out. It's up to you. You have to work. Yeah, any person. Sarvatra anavisneya tattat prapi subha subham. Anything, everywhere. Tattat prapya, whatever will come in your way, if you realized, in your way, good things can come. In your way, bad conditions can come. Disease may come, health may come, happiness can come, misery can come, anything can happen as the other person's life. Same destiny will give. Tattat prapya shubha shubham. And that realized person never wants to change the destiny. We feel sorry for them. Ramakrishna had cancer. And Vivekananda once said, he was so unhappy, so sad. Ramakrishna was not in sad condition. He was okay with that condition. But Vivekananda said, you are having so much pain. And you have divine powers. The goddess comes in your meditation. Just pray. Just say, and she can do anything. You would be cured. Just say one time. Ramakrishna didn't listen. He said, it's okay. Many times he said. And one day, he decided, okay, I will tell the Kali for my disease. And next morning, after meditation, he scolded to Vivekananda. He said, what did you do? Do you know what happened in my meditation? When I asked the Kali, I have big pain, I have cancer, I cannot eat, I cannot take a water, a sip. So please cure it. Then what do you know? What Kali said? She said, why are you interesting only one throat? Why are you insisting only for one throat? Every throats are yours. The entire universe is your throat. You should not longer for one truth. So realized person has no interest to change the condition. The realized person has interest to change himself, to change herself. Transformation in the soul level, not the worldly level. Sri Krishna says, Tattat prapi subhashubham. Whatever comes, it may be subhashubham, good or bad. Shubh, ashubh, wanted, unwanted. Na bhi nandati, na dveshti. Na bhi nandati. He does not have any interest. He does not have any interest to welcome happiness, and he does not have interest to hate the misery. Na bhi nandati, na dveshti. He said, what is condition is, I am ready. Because I am beyond the condition. I am above the condition. I am above the happiness. I am above the unhappiness. Why should I think about Shubh and Ashubh? Why should I think about the good and bad? See, if someone has money, like a bank cashier, the cashier of the bank, any big bank, has lot of money, millions of millions. What do you think? What the cashier thinks? Because that cashier has millions of millions, but that cashier is not millionaire. End of the month, he will get money. He will get salary. That salary belongs to that man, not this amount. So if you have money, if you have wealth, you are not wealthy. If you have wealth, you are not wealthy. Wealth may be there. But when you identify yourself with the wealth, this is mine, then you are wealthy. Only having money will not make you wealthy. Only having a money, you are not rich like a bank cashier. But when we identify with the money, this is mine, then you are wealthy, you are poor, you are rich. If you don't have any identification with the wealth, with the property, you are not poor, you are not rich. You are as you are. Na vinandati. Sri Krishna says to Arjun, that person will not welcome anything. Without welcoming, happiness coming, then come. Without welcoming, misery coming, come. I do not have any interest. Na vinandati na dveshti. Tasya pragya pratishtati. Janakvad ki. Yakyvalkvad Rishi. Sukdev had nothing. Krishna was a king. Krishna bhogi sukastyagi. Nirpau Janak Raghav. Lord Sri Rama was king. Janak was king. They were realized. Sukadev he had nothing. So having anything or do not having anything is no matter. Na abhinandati na dvishti. The matter is you are accepting or not. If you do not give any respect, any object becomes important when you give the respect. See? Any small thing would be very, very important for you if you give the respect that small thing. You made respectful. You made meaningful any object, any person, any condition. They are important because of you. You gave the respect. I want this. I want this. I cannot live without that. I cannot survive without that. So we made them important. Sri Krishna says, Na vinandati drishti. Just ignore. Ignore. Tasya pragya pratishtita. That person is realized. Now, next one. Yada sangharate chayam kungani sarvasha indriyani indriyarthebhyah tasya pragya pratishtita. I chant again. Yada sangharate chayam kurmu angani sarvasha indriyani indriyarthebhyah tasya pragya pratishtita. See the translation. When this one fully withdraws the sense from the objects of the sense, as a tortoise fully withdraws the limbs, then this wisdom remains established. I repeat, translation again. When this one fully withdraws the senses from objects of the senses, as a tortoise fully withdraws the limbs when this wisdom remains established. Now, Sri Krishna is giving an example, very beautiful example, very symbological example, very symbological. Tortoise is a symbol of seekers. The tortoise has some special quality. In India, in temples, you can see there are many temples, India or abroad. There is a turtle who is sitting tortoise. He is sitting just front of the God, just front of the deity. It means the tortoise always facing to the God. This is the one quality. This is the one quality. Quality to facing the God. Always. In your way, there may be unlimited things. Unlimited things. And you see. But you don't forget your target. It is like someone is going to market to buy food, grocery. He is hungry. The person is hungry, he wants grocery. He wants food. So he went in the market. In the markets, there are so many soaps. Somewhere there are clothes, somewhere there is toys, somewhere there is electronics. Everything is in the market. And he see He can see, but he will not forget his own target. He was rushing towards the store of the grocery. He has no interest in electronic. He has not interest in the soap of the clothes device. He's rushing towards its goal. So this turquoise is a symbol for a seeker. The seeker should face always towards its goal, towards the God, always. In life, many incidents can come, many conditions will come and change. Do not be affected. Your focus should be always toward the God. This is the first thing which the seeker can take from the turquoise. Another, it is said, the turquoise gives eggs in the earth. And when the eggs breaks and its small kids comes out from that eggs, from very beginning, they start going towards a source of the water. They want to remain in the water. Tortoise can remain in the earth. It may remain in the water too. But he loves remain in the water. So from very childhood, the tortoise started to see the water. And God gift is for them the very, very nearest source of the water. They start their journey from that way. Nearest, without any navigation system, without any guidance. So they start their journey towards the source of the water. And God gives them a protection. Nature gives a special protection shields. Nature does very strange things. Very strange things. They have been given special protection because they do not have capacity to run fast. So some animals have different quality to save their life. Some can run fast, some can climb the tree, some can swim, but tortoise does not have capacity to run, to save. So nature gives a protection shield, and he starts his journey. And he goes here and there. And suddenly, when he feels that there is some danger, and suddenly, immediately, all limbs take inside. Kurmo angani sarvasaha. Sri Krishna says, Arjun, angharte. Immediately, he withdraws all his limbs. Protection shield. Same. This is an example. Now, what is the moral? Indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratishtitaha. Same Lord Sri Krishna says, we have been given sense organs by the nature. Indriya, sense organs, organ of actions. And they are doing their job. We have given eye. The work of eye is to watch everywhere, watch the color, watch the shape, watch the beauty. And it is not sin. And it is not virtue. See, just watching through the eye, listening through the ears, there is no any sin, no any virtue. This is natural. And nature is not sin or virtue. Nature is not sin or virtue. Nature is nature. So if we hear something through the ears, we see from the eye, here is no sin and no virtue. But when you feel danger is coming, when the seeker of the truth feels there is a danger to watching this or hearing this, immediately he should withdraw them immediately from their objects. This is the spiritual practice. This is spiritual practice. Otherwise, let them do their job. Eye is for seeing. So let them do. Ear, tongue, touch, every sense organs, every actions are doing their job. And this is not sin, not virtue. It becomes virtue. It becomes sin when we involved with intention. When we make them some special. Indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratishtitah. The seeker should live in the world, enjoy the world, but be careful. When there is a danger, like tortoise, immediately withdraws his limbs in protection shield. Same, the seeker enjoy the world, watch everywhere, see everything, eat, but be careful when there is a danger. You are getting attached. Be careful. Withdraw yourself. Withdraw yourself. Indriyani indriyarthebhya tasya pragya pratishtita. This person is self-realized. Now, next one. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarajam raso apyasya param drishtva nivartate. I repeat. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarajam raso apyasya param drishtva nivartate. See the translation. Sri Krishna says, O Arjun, objects turn away from him who does not enjoy them with these senses, but the taste for them persists. This release also disappears in the case of the man of stable mind when he realizes the Supreme. I repeat, translation again. Sri Krishna says, sense objects turn away from him who does not enjoy them with the senses, but the taste of them persists. This release also disappears in the case of the man of stable mind when the realizes the Supreme. Now Sri Krishna is giving another view. Sometimes we observe fast. We observe fast for 10 days. And We make promise, I will not eat for next 10 days. Food is there, hunger is there, but I will not eat. Or doctor can say, you will not eat for 2 days. Or food is not available. In any condition, either you are observing the fast, or you are restricted from the doctor, or you don't have food. In 3 conditions, Vishaya Vinivar Niraharasya, Sri Krishna says, you are not having the food. It is Nirahar, without food. Nirahar means without food. Food does not mean only whatever we eat. Food, it does not mean when we eat something, it is a food. No, here food means whatever you are watching, this is your food. You are hearing, it is also food. You are tasting, your food. You are watching, you are touching, you are smelling, whatever you are taking inside. Whatever you are taking inside through sense organs, this is food. Niraharasya Dehina. Dehina means the person who has identification with the body. Dehina means Deha with identification with the body. If some does not have identification with the body, this is not Dehi, this is the consciousness. Dehina. Sri Krishna says, if you are in body, your identification with the body, you need food. Without food, we cannot survive. Without food, we cannot live because we are in the body and body needs food. Niraharasya Dehina. And if I don't have food, if I close my eyes, there is no color. So there is no food for the eye. If I close my ears, there is no sound. It means there is no food for the ears. But it does not mean you don't have interest in the sound. It does not mean you don't have any interest in the color. Your eyes may be closed, but yet you have interest. That is Sri Krishna is showing here. Niraharasya Dehina. Without food, attachment would be there. Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehina. If you don't have any food, it does not mean you are unattached. Rasa Varjam Raso Apyasya. Sri Krishna says, if you want becoming unattached, then you have to do Param Drishtva Nivartate. You have to have the realization of the self. You have to have the realization of the yourself. You just see yourself. Then you will lose all interest in this world. You have interest in this world because you did not see yourself yet. This is a cause for interest in the world. See the statement of the Krishna. Param Drishtva Nivartate. Param means absolute, ultimate. See, if someone is walking in the river shore and there is very, very beautiful pebbles, very beautiful, colorful, And that person collected some stones, pebbles, because they are very beautiful. And he gathered so many good stones, pebbles. And he decided, I will take them with myself. And suddenly he saw there is a silver coins. Then think, what will do that this person? This will throw away the all pebbles. This will throw the all pebbles away, and this person will take the silver as much as he can carry. And think, when he went some away, and there he found gold. And that time, he will throw away the silver and he will take the gold. Same Sri Krishna says, Param Drishtva Nivartate. If you have realization yourself, then this is ultimate. Then you don't have any interest anywhere. Now, next one and last. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipastita indriyani pramathini haranti prashabham manah. I repeat. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipastita indriyani pramathini haranti prashabham manah. See the translation. Sri Krishna says, O Arjun, son of Kunti, the turbulent organs violently snatch away the mind of an intelligent person, even while he is striving diligently. I repeat again the translation. O son of Kunti, the turbulent organs violently snatch away the mind of an intelligent person, even while he is striving diligently. Indriyani yatato hyapi kaunteya. You are striving. Yatato means you are striving, making effort to your goal. But your sense organs are very, very strong. Sense organs, organ of actions are very strong, and they should be strong. They should be strong. Their strongness is your strength. Indriyani pramathini. They are very strong. And this is the plus point for you. Sri Krishna says, Yatato hyapi, if someone, an intelligent person, is striving to achieve his own goal. Yatatopi, he is striving again and again and again continuously. But what happens? Sri Krishna says, in this path, only one thing is required. If you want to go ultimate, you want to achieve the ultimate self, only one thing is required, and that is your mind. Only your mind is needed. Your intellect is needed. This is the ultimate mean to achieve the self. But Indriyani pramathini, your sense organs and mind have mutual understanding. They have been working together. Sense organs and mind both have been working with support each other. Without mind, sense organs cannot work. Mind cannot work without them, and they cannot work without the mind. So they need each other. They have mutual understanding, how to support each other. Indriyani pramathini. When you start in meditating, You drop all sense organs, all objects, and you are working with the mind. At that time, the sense organs tries to enter. Indriyani pramathini. And small your laziness, small your unalertness becomes them more strong. Haranti prasabham mana. And then they snatch our mind and they take it into the world. And you are sitting in your posture, your mind is wandering here and there. Indriyani pramathini. So let Sri Krishna is saying, be alert. Your sense organs are very strong. That is why you must be very strong. And your strongness is, your strength is your awareness, your alertness. Always, every time, haranti prasavam manaha, because they were working together. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Isharo Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavada Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudita. Om